Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this episode of What's Wrong With My Strategy, I'm going to be talking about starting a business to get rich. So I'll see you in about 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1!
Okay, so for those of you who've already known or maybe I've not known, I was doing a business last year, Amoresolbookkeeping, and I've had some amazing experiences and I've had some bad experiences. And one of those bad experiences was very awful. And I'm going to talk about that in a video next week just to give you guys another story time and some tips of how to really not go about doing things. Because yeah, sometimes we think we're doing what is best and it's really not best. But that's why they say hindsight is 2020, and you know, we're just gonna learn from it and move on because this is life. But yeah, I was doing this bookkeeping business and it was a good experience, but it's also kind of taught me a lot of things about myself, what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do. And it just came down to the timing of things because as you've also maybe have known or not known, I was completing my master's at the time. The workload was tremendously heavy and it was just a lot of things that I had to do to get things up and running that was just really stretching me thin. And so I'm not doing that business anymore, but that's not to say that I will not be talking about bookkeeping on my channel or giving you guys some content to clear up some concepts and to just explain some things to you guys. And you can always reach out to me in the comments or, you know, anywhere that you want to reach out to me, whether in my DMs on Instagram or in the comment section of TikTok or YouTube to talk about anything that you want me to talk about on my platforms. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. But the businesses that I'm really interested in moving forward is business consulting and financial consulting, and those were kind of like the big picture idea even from the get-go. But I wanted to just delve myself into bookkeeping to see what it's really like and to also help other people to understand certain aspects of their financial records, you know, because I do think there is still a huge group of people who are not even close to understanding what it means to really keep in proper records. And that's why I still say that I will talk about bookkeeping from time to time, but if you don't see me posting about it as actively as I used to, it's because I'm not really in that business space as I once was. All right, so but if you are somebody who maybe you have an accounting background like I do, or you are completely from a different background, I would still 100% recommend it. But I want you to understand that it comes with a lot of work, a lot of effort. And if you're not prepared to do that, just stay away from it, because it's not this easy peasy thing that you're going to just make some money and go on with your life. It takes a lot of effort and energy and commitment to growth and learning and, you know, making sure that people understand you when you speak. So just coming into it with that mindset will really set you up for success. But I just wanted to really talk about this concept of starting a business with this idea of, okay, you're going to just make it from the get-go. And there are some people who have done that. There are some people who have, you know, they have a large following. Maybe they come from a family that already set them up on that path. And for them, it's easy to just start to sell anything and make $1 million. But if you are from an humble beginning like I am, you don't have that support. You have to create it on your own. So it's just that space where you're just knowing that I'm coming into this, I have my goals and I have my expectations, but I'm not coming into it blindly thinking I'm just gonna be rich just off the bat. And I think, you know, there are a lot of people on the internet portraying entrepreneurship that way. That's why we buy into that concept. But I am really here to tell you, it's really not. That's really not what it is. And you have to just be practical, which is a word that I tell you I'm going to throw in a lot on my channel. You have to be practical about how you approach things, especially when it comes down to business. So in this video, I'm going to just give you guys some tips on how to really go about this. If you are a 9-to-5-er and you're starting a side hustle, or maybe you're transitioning into business full-time, I'm going to give you some tips on how to really go about this. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is start something that you enjoy. If you have a 9-to-5 that you don't enjoy, it would be foolish and stupid to really go start a business that you don't enjoy. If you're not already excited to go to work, why would you want to just start something that you think you can make money from, but that you're not excited to do? You're gonna probably get some money, but you're not gonna be as committed to it. You're probably not gonna maximize it as much as you can, and you're probably not gonna make the amount of money that you could make if it was a business that you wanted to do. Now, I do want to say something on this topic. there are some businesses that we are going to do that we may not be as interested in, that can make us some money, that they can be in lucrative industries. But I don't think we should invest our 100% time in it. Maybe we're going to invest in it and have somebody else run that business. But the businesses that we are going to be running on a day-to-day basis, they need to be things that we enjoy doing, because that's going to be our daily lives. There's no point of leaving something, like I said, that we don't enjoy to start something that we don't. For example, all my 9 to 5 that I've had, I've liked them for different reasons than what I should have. And I am really not ashamed of this. This is just life. And it's not just my life. This is probably the life of you and many other people watching this video. I liked my 9 to 5 based on the food that I was getting there. That's really what it was. I'm not going to call names, but this first company that I was working for, the owner used to bring us breakfast in the mornings. We used to have the amazing lunch trips that we just go to restaurants and the boss would pay for food. We had snacks all the time. And my absolutely favorite time of the day was when I would get to go outside for my walk, and I would just get some fresh air, stroll along the streets, just hear the buzz of the cars and just everything that happened with being outside. None of my excitement was being at my desk, which I was all day. For 9 hours sometimes. I was the only one left in the office, and I was really not excited about that. But anything that I'm doing, I want to give my 100%. So even if I'm not interested, I'm still going to show up because I was hired to do a job. This next job that I have, they had the most expressive espresso machine, y'all. Like, I would be drinking hot chocolate all day long with all the different flavors that you can think of. I would always be eating snacks. They had happy hours all the time. I don't think there was alcohol, but there was some really nice snacks and hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that during the happy hours. And then I worked at this spot where I could just literally eat anything I want. I worked at another spot I could cook anything I want. And so I've always been having food at my jobs. That was never something that I was short of. And I was here for it. But that's not the right reason to like a job. But that was my reason, and I have to own that. But when you're going to start a business, that's, for me in this aspect, bookkeeping kind of helped me to realize a lot of things, because I was doing those jobs and I was doing what I had to do, but I was not fulfilled. And because I'm an analytical person, I love to, strategize and come up with the best outcome for things. It was really good for me when I started to do bookkeeping, because it helped me to just really understand the numbers a little bit more. Of course, I had an accounting background, so I already understood this. But when you're looking at the things that you're taught in school compared to the things that you're doing, the records in somebody's business, it's similar, but you kind of get a deeper understanding because you're doing real world and practical stuff. So it was very strategic for me, it was very analytical for me, and it was very fulfilling for me, even though it was a lot of work and a lot of effort I had to put in to even get a client. But it was really something that was really I was passionate about. I really enjoyed even coming on here to talk about the different things and to explain the concepts to you guys, so you can have a better understanding of what it is. And it also just kind of helps you to understand business going forward, because now you know some things that you definitely need to do in your business when you're not doing something bookkeeping wise. So for example, you have a clothing business or a photography business. Now you understand certain nuances that you're gonna have to do for when it comes to the time when you have to do your taxes or to do your bookkeeping. You have certain things in place. So that's what I'm talking about when you're transitioning from something that you don't like to something that you do like, because it makes all the difference in the world when you're actually passionate about what you're doing. Like I said, start something that you like. And if you want to get an idea of just different things that you are interested in, you want to understand your strengths, you want to understand the areas that you're interested in, you should definitely check out my last 2 videos, because I really deep dived into those concepts a lot more. All right, so since we're here right now, I want you guys to take a second to pause. I'm gonna wait on y'all. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up. Share to anyone who still needs to hear this message. Since you're in the middle of it, why not just share it? And turn your post notifications on, so that you can be notified when I post, because why not? All right, so the second thing that I'm gonna tell you guys to do, and this may be very contrary, I want you guys to throw this concept of money out the window for at least 2 years. I'm not saying to not think about starting a business that you're gonna make money. It has to be a lucrative business for sure for you to even give it the time of day. But I want you to not focus so much on the financial part of it, and focus more on the value that you're going to give your customers, your clients, the people that you're interacting with. it doesn't make sense for you to start something that, like I said, because you're passionate about this and you actually want to do it, you're interested in it. Now it ties hand in hand and makes a lot more sense for you to just give the value to the people that are going to be tuning into and buying into what you're offering or what you're selling. So when you're not too caught up in the financial aspect of things, which of course you're going to be doing on the back end, you can really give your 100% to what you're doing. You're constantly learning, so you can constantly give this information on to the next person that you know a little bit more than. Because I really also think this is a misconception that you have to be so far in the game to really give advice. You're really just teaching what you know. So you know a little bit more than somebody, you teach them, and that's just really what it is when you're trying to offer value to anybody that you are offering value to. So that's just the second thing I'm going to tell you guys, to just put money out the window for at least 2 years. If you cannot do that in the initial stages of doing a business, that probably means that's not the business that you should be in the first place. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I'm going to have you guys do is start small and work your way up. I don't know if you're like me or some of the people that I know, but some of us, we like to start 16 things at the same time. And that is not always a practical strategy. Here we go again with that word. It's not always practical. You know, this concept of jack of all trade, master of none. And I'm not saying that you cannot do multiple things at once. The first thing in this, if you're doing multiple things at once, they have to be congruent with each other, you know. So if you're into real estate and you probably start a property management company, those things go hand in hand. So you're not going to have to be going out of your way to do a bookkeeping business and then a car rental business, because you know those two are like complete contrast, but you're doing something that goes in alignment with each other. But at the same time, when you're stretching yourself too thin by doing so much things at the same time, you're not able to fully give yourself to any particular thing. And I think that in business, especially when you're just starting out, you have to be able to give yourself, because you're building up your client base, you're getting familiar with the services and products you're offering, with the clients that you're serving, and you want to be able to build that foundation that can span you over the long term. Because there are things that we do for short term, like, you know, my bookkeeping business, but in the beginning, what I wanted to do was business and financial consulting. So that was really just a stepping stone, and it's in the same direction. It's still in finance and the financial industry. So it's really just a starting phase for me, and then, you know, transition into something different. But anything that we're doing business wise, it's for the long haul. At least that's for me. My goal is for the long haul. So when we're thinking about doing something, we want to make sure that we're not burning out ourselves by just taking on too much stuff in the beginning stages, and not really strategizing how this can really work out for us on the long form. Like, I could literally just be posting videos on my Instagram and TikTok. But the reason why I'm starting this YouTube channel is because I'm also thinking about the long haul of, you know, my career. So this is just to illustrate it, right? You know, if we're gonna be doing clothing line, we start with a shirt and then we had a pants to the line. We had pants or trousers or, you know, whatever undergarment or different types of garment to the line. But we already start to sell shirt. Everybody knows that we sell shirt. And now once we have that client base, now we can start offering pants. That goes for jewelry, that goes for cosmetics, that goes for services, and every single thing that we're offering. We just start with a particular item on, and then when we have that client base and we are able to stretch ourselves a little bit more, maybe we hire somebody on our team and we now have a little bit more free time, then we can venture into something else that goes together, so that we're not, you know, all over the place, and we have a little bit more structure to what we're doing. So that's all that I have for this video. I hope these 3 tips were helpful. And remember guys, everything that I'm sharing on my channel are things that I've seen that has worked for me, that I'm currently doing, or that I think will work for me. I'm not coming on here to give you guys general information. These are things that I think are very practical to think about when you're doing business. And like I said, I'm gonna be telling you guys this awful experience that happened to me throughout the course of my bookkeeping business, and one of the reasons that I kind of had to just reflect on certain things moving forward. And I want to put you guys onto just being mindful, like I said, and to just be very peculiar about who you do business with and how you analyze certain types of, you know, things when they come your way, because not everything that comes to you is a blessing. Yeah, it can be a very in disguise type of thing. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. Let's keep the conversation going on other social platforms. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Khrista-Finance. And first of all, before you even go over there, let me know in the comments if any of these tips were helpful to you guys. If you have already used any of them, what type of business are you in? If you are, what kind of side hustle are you thinking about starting? Do you even think that these tips can be practical to you? I want to know in the comments. Really get to clicking and typing down there so we can keep the conversation going. And share this video with anyone who needs to see it. Please like it if it was informative for you. Turn on your post notification bells so you can be notified when I post. And I will see you in the next one. All right, take care.